Welcome to another art time lapse. My name is Sharon and I am an artist from Canada. This piece I'm doing on is called The Hours Are Long but the Days Are Short. I must say, this is a piece that really resonates with me, and I am so happy and overjoyed to be sharing the art time lapse with you. I did this piece over a course of 2 weeks during my vacation with my children. I have two little ones under the age of, let's say, under the age of 5 for now. I don't know why, but sometimes it escapes me how old they are, even though they're so young. So I've gone going through the process of motherhood twice now with two little ones, and I'm surprised at how fast they grow. I know it's a privilege to experience and see them grow. It's something that I should honor and be really grateful for. At the same time, I'm also really sad about the entire process that they grow so fast, but I'm so fascinated by how they see the world. This quote I heard recently is from my cousin, who brought up how hours are long and the days are short. And the more I think about it, throughout this entire vacation of 2 weeks, sometimes there are times where it feels really long, like trying to put our child to sleep and the child just won't have it. I'm not going to bed. You can't make me. I can't do it. And those are really long hours, or like in the middle of the night when they wake up crying from night terrors, or like they don't know what's happening and they're sick. Those hours are long. It feels like minutes can be like hours, that like they're just in your arms crying. Or those we're polar opposite. There are times when time feels really short, when you're just holding your baby, this warm body in your arm, and you just put your your face into their hair and just smelling their scent and trying to see if you can capture that scent in your memory. Those times are so short. So this piece is supposed to reflect my gratefulness and how this like whole process of motherhood has been so life-changing for me, as do many people who go through this process their lives throughout the entire world. And I just want to see how I can represent that in an art piece, how I can resonate with everyone who is experiencing this thing called motherhood, where the hours can be so long sometimes, but the days are so short. And in just a blink of an eye, they've just grown up so much. And then here I started off with like maybe I want a more blue color piece, but then I decided that a total change in the plan for the color scheme. I thought, well, you know what? Maybe something brown or umber color would be really nice too. So I decided to just change it up and use some beige or light apricot, and started the piece all over again. You can see the added shades of like light cobalt blue for the mother and also the child that's sleeping in her arms. And I decided, you know what, like it's okay, I'm just gonna start over again. And like I think that's part of motherhood too, being open to change, being flexible, and accepting that like sometimes change can be for the better. And I was just putting my whole heart into the process, hoping that this piece will turn out the way I envision it to be in my mind and in my heart. So you can see the piece is slowly coming to be. I at first did not know it was going to turn out like this, but to be honest, as I went through painting this piece over the course of 2 weeks, it did become better and better, and I got more and more excited about it. This woman in the piece is not representative of myself. It doesn't look exactly like me at all, but I want it to be it can be representative of any woman in any stage in their lives, in of any nationality, having a child of their own. So here, just blending in the background. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I just wanted to have this airiness and lightness to it, but still highlight the main characters, which is the mother and child in the drawing. I hope you guys are enjoying this art time lapse and my description of the piece so far. I feel like a lot of times people look at my artwork and they really enjoy the final product, and what I really want to show to the world is the process of how the piece came to be. There's always a story that comes with it, and how the piece evolves, and it has something very special to share, and that's what I want to show. Just like how this piece started off with like more of a blue hue and now turning into a more ombre color, how like things are changing and evolving for a purpose, or like to teach me a lesson about how things are never as it seems, and how change can sometimes be for worse or better, but in this case I think it is turning out. Here now I'm adding in details about the hair for the mother and the child that's sitting in her arms. I decided that they will be wrapped up in fabric. That kind of like provide that sense of warmth, and also kind of like symbolize the kind of the fabric of time that is. There are wrinkles, there are flat and like folds, and how time is not always as it seems, just like the title of the piece. Sometimes the hours are long, but the days are short. Before you know it, through just a blink of an eye, I can imagine that like my children will be full grown adults before me, and I only hope that I can do a service to them as my parents has done service to me, to offer me the opportunities that I need to do some learning and get a better understanding of myself. So here you can see that like over the course of 2 weeks, I think at this point in the painting it's probably been at least a week and a half. There needs to be a lot of time and patience that put into a piece, because like it's not about just barging through and just paint and paint and paint. It's about stopping, reflecting, looking back at the piece, giving time for it to dry and see how things turn out, and then going back to the drawing board and thinking like, where should I go from here, or do I need to make a change? Now I'm adding details to this quilting or fabric that's wrapping around the two protagonists of this piece. I decided to do kind of more nature patterns for the fabric. I want it to be like a natural fabric of time. And adding some leaves. I'm really loving how this piece is turning out. It does resonate with me, the message behind it. And yeah, at this point I think I'm just really fearful of messing it up, because it's turning out very similar to what I had in mind, even though I didn't think this was exactly what I wanted when I started the piece. Now I'm just adding in some highlights that are more lighter colors, doing different types of patterns. Thought I'll do more like a Japanese wave pattern here. How there's like ripples that would kind of ripple upon each other. Every change, every word, every action that is taken, there is a ripple effect that goes on. I feel like this piece is so poetic and kind of painted itself, and it just really spoke to me. And those are the times when I know I have something like a great idea going, because it just the painting just kind of painted itself. It doesn't happen all the time, I would say, but like it feels so good when art piece speak for itself. If you like this type of content on the channel, like I mentioned, it'll be great if you'll consider subscribing, or if you have other comments about how this piece kind of reflects upon you and how you feel about your motherhood process, if you have had the same feeling, or like I'll love to hear in the comments below. At first I thought that I want the child to be kind of like, you can't tell if it's a boy or a girl, to give it like that differential that it could be any child. I don't know if you can tell from this piece. I gave the child kind of like a mid-length hair, so it could be both. But I wanted to give the woman, the mother, kind of like these light hair strands that would kind of like ripple through. Her hair is wavy yet disheveled, but and fragile at the same time, because the process is just so, it can be so tragically very traumatizing sometimes, I would say, but like the result can be so rewarding. I don't think I could have ever imagined learning so much and being so loved and loving another human being so much. Here I'm just wrapping up the piece using my Sakura jelly roll to highlight some of the leaves on the fabric of Time, as I've described before. So that's about it. Using my oil pencil to highlight some of the shadows, and this is the final piece. I hope you enjoyed this art time lapse. I certainly really did enjoy walking you through the process of how I produced it and the concept behind it. The hours are long sometimes, but the days are short. Kids, if you're listening or watching this video at some point, I love you so, so much. Well, I think that's it for now. Take care, everyone, and stay creative. Bye for now.